Alright, how's it going, everyone? Hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to my channel. We are here for SDL week number 6, going up against Steve, aka Dirty Beanie, and his team name 7. That's apparently his team name. um, just to preface this, no live comm this week. Um, I know this is extremely late. Also, it's like almost a whole week late. Hopefully, I'll be able to get this up Thursday night because I'm recording this about 7:30 p.m. Thursday night. Yeah, it's been a hectic week and a half to say the least. Um, I have not been having access to my computer because I was moving, and I haven't had I haven't been able to have an internet connection on my computer for about a week now. So it's been a little rough, but probably like 10 days at this point. So that's why I wasn't able to upload last weekend, and I had to play this game on mobile. Um, so yes, I have already had the battle. Um, so yeah, it's gonna be a post comp for sure. Um, so anyway, let's look at my opponent's team. He's got the Mega Garchomp, G-Darm, Heatran, Noivern, Vaporeon, Azelf, Xurkitree, uh, Araquanid, that's what that Pokemon's called, Whimsicott, Sableye, and Hitmontop. So right off the bat, I see G-Darm, and I see that I don't have a bulky water on my team, on my draft, so it's going to be a problem. Probably running Choice Scarf just to maximize its efficiency with Guerrilla Tactics. Basically gives it a Choice Scarf and a Choice Band at the same time. It's definitely going to make an appearance, and it's definitely going to be a problem. We're going to try to beat it. Wait, this isn't my team. Hold on a minute. Okay, my bad. I was looking at the wrong team that whole time. That was my week. That was my team for last week against Fate. So the weeks have been also kind of screwed up in my brain right now. It's been pretty hectic, like I said. So bear with me there. But yeah, what was I saying? G-Darm, obviously a big threat. I really like his elf, and it can be pretty annoying against me. Which is kind of why I have the auto there. But yeah, I guess we'll talk about the team now. He's got 2 bulky waters as well, by the way, Vaporeon and Araquanid. So that's going to be a problem for our Greninja and our Infernape. So yeah, let's get right into the team. I got Wise Glasses Greninja, Toxic Surf, Ice Beam, Dark Pulse. Toxic, obviously, for the Vaporeon. I don't really want to U-turn against Vaporeon because I don't have much for that Pokemon in general. So I'd rather get a poison off on it, have that slow chip kind of compound as turns go by. I'd rather have that than just U-turning for like negligible damage. And yeah, same for the Araquanid. If he brings Araquanid instead of Vaporeon, it's the same kind of thing. So that's nice. And then obviously Ice Beam will hit the Garchomp a little harder, well, much harder. It'll hit Noivern for 4 times super effective damage as well. It'll also hit the Whimsicott that resists our dual stab. It'll hit that super effectively. So other than that, Surf plus Dark Pulse just kind of does its job in this one. Next up, we have our Rocky Helmet Roserade. Physically defensive, we have a little bit of speed in case like a Heatran or a Xurkitree might be speed creeping us. Give ourselves a little bit of speed. I don't know if we outspeed a Garchomp with this. We probably do. Yeah, I'm going to say we do. A Mega Garchomp that has no speed investment, but I doubt he'd run that. It's probably just going to be like a standard scale shot set if he brings it. So yeah. Anyway, we have the Roserade here with the Rocky Helmet because I want to be able to switch into Vaporeon every time. I don't want to give him a free flip turn, so that's why the Rocky Helmet is there. We're also Fizz Def, so we can take hits a little bit better from like a Garchomp, obviously, maybe a physical, maybe U-turning a Zelf. Like if I know he's going to U-turn, it's really good for that, as well as the G-Darm. If he's against like Greninja and I know a U-turn's coming, I can switch into Roserade, get a little bit more chip on him. But it's mainly just here for the Vaporeon, and I guess the Araquanid as well. With that Rocky Helmet, we can Sleep Powder actually did change to Stun Spore, so let's put that in there. Changes to Stun Spore because I felt like, well, on top of it being a little more accurate, I feel like paralyzing his team is going to be better than putting it to sleep. He could have, of course, run the safety goggles Heatran, but it's not that big a deal if he does that. Also, I'm sorry, I also changed this. It's not Sludge Bomb. It's what is it? It's Mud Slap. That's what it is. yeah, so when I recreated the team on mobile, I couldn't see this team, so I kind of recreated it from what I remembered. So a little bit of it is different. So yeah, that's the Rosary, man. It should be pretty fun. Next up is the Altaria. This is the same set. I had Fizdef for the Garchomp. I mean, period. That's what that's for. It also deals pretty well with Noivern and potentially a Zelf and like a Zerkatree that for some reason doesn't bring Dazzling Gleam. So yeah, Roost, Ice Beam, Earthquake, Defog. Earthquake, I want to be able to hit the Heatran on a Telegraph switch in. Ice Beam just does more than Hyper Voice to Garchomp and Noivern, so that's really helpful in that case. And if he sees like Roost, Ice Beam, Defog, he's not going to expect an Earthquake there, which is pretty much why I'm bringing it. So yeah, that's what the Altaria is here for. That's about it. Next up, I have the Audino Wish Wish knockoff Encore Toxic. I changed Toxic to Ice Punch here because I wanted something to hit the Noivern a little bit harder. Because that's all well and good, and also this is the Garchomp, I guess. And I didn't really feel like I needed another Toxic user since I already had Toxic on Greninja and I had Stun Spore with the Roserade. So that's what that's for. Sorry. Encore is really just like if I cannot allow Garchomp to set up with the Sword Stance, I can just Encore preemptively if it's not in range of an Ice Punch, which it probably won't be because this is a pretty weak Pokemon. So even being 4 times super effective, it's not very threatening. Yeah, so that's basically what Encore is there for, because there aren't many other setup threats on this team. I guess if I can Encore like an Araquanid into Sticky Web, maybe, that's also a thing. So, yep. Next up we have Lycanroc, Husk, with the Hardstone. I believe this is the same set. Adamant Nature because we outspeed. I think it is Darm. I think it's Galarian. Yeah, it definitely is. We outspeed max speed Galarian Darmanitan. Maybe if we knock off its Scarf with the Audino, we can outspeed it there. But I'm not that threatened by okay, so I can just Accelerock. I get a Tough Claws boost there, and I do a lot of damage with the Hardstone. I'm a Hardstone because, well, I mean, last week kind of scarred me from the Life Orb. I didn't want to run Life Orb this week just because of how it almost killed me just having Life Orb with the Milotic recovering on my Greninja. So Hardstone makes it so that I don't take damage, but I still have a lot of power on that coming from those Stone Edges. And his team really does not deal with Stone Edge very well. He's got, 2 resistances. One is Hitmontop, which I doubt comes, and the other is Garchomp, which I can play rough immediately. And he can't run Choice Garchomp, obviously, because he's Mega Stone. And, yeah. I mean, obviously, he will outspeed me if he's like a max speed Garchomp that hasn't Mega Evolved. But I doubt he'd do that. He'd probably just want a Mega to get the extra bulk and then hope to take a play rough. So yeah, and then just Drill Run because I want to be able to hit the Heatran. I don't believe it's a contact move, so that'll make sure we don't get burned, which is good. Last but not least, we have the Scarfed Infernape, which is also pretty good against Darmanitan. This is probably my lead every time, just because what are his leads? Probably Azelf, Heatran, and G-Darm. And all 3 of those I deal pretty well with a Scarfed Infernape. I can U-turn against the Azelf. I can just CC the Heatran. He probably switches, so I'll just U-turn. And same with Darmanitan. So I get that initial, if he pivots into Araquanid or Vaporeon, I get to go into, either Lycanroc if it's Araquanid or Roserade if it's Vaporeon. So that's kind of my hope with that. So that is the team. I'm now going to cut to my post-column battle. So yeah, I'll see you there. Alright, here we are in the battle going up against Steve. Like I said, it is going to be post-com, like I also said. He brings a team of Noivern, Heatran, Vaporeon, Azelf, Garchomp, and Galarian Darmanitan. So, pretty threatening team overall. Gotta watch out for, obviously, the G-Darm there. Did I say that? Yeah, I said that right. And I'm expecting Noivern to probably be a defogger, kind of like a Boots, maybe Roost Taunt, U-turn, defog, or maybe he's got Draco in there somewhere. But that's probably what I'm expecting. So, like I said, my lead is almost always going to be Infernape, and that is what I ended up doing. Let's go ahead and start the battle here. He leads Vaporeon, which is fine with me, because I can U-turn. I didn't expect him to lead Vaporeon. I was hoping for maybe an Azelf or a Heatran to get rocks up. Maybe Scarf G-Darm would lead. But no, leads to the Vaporeon. That's fine. I can go into Roserade. I don't get burned here, which is good. As he clicks Protect here, I was really thinking maybe I should predict the Heatran and click Mud Slap. But I decided to just click a Spike, which worked out perfectly because he clicked Protect there. I Mud Slap here on the predicted switch, which is good. I get an accuracy drop, obviously. I'm going to go for Stun Spore here, try to paralyze him, but he does reveal the safety goggles, which I was thinking maybe there's a chance of, but I didn't really expect it since, I don't know. I feel like it's not as useful as like leftovers or something else in that case. He switched into Darmanitan as I switched into Altaria. I don't think he was predicting that. I think he just thought it would be a free switch in that case. Maybe he did expect the Altaria to come in there, which in that case is a great play for him. I didn't have a switch in there, so I just sacked Altaria. I was hoping maybe I'd live. I am Fizz Def with the Altaria, but I do not, unfortunately. So yeah, then I bring out the Infernape. I'm going to U-turn as he goes into Noivern because the switch out was obvious there. I go into Lycanroc, get a big Stone Edge off. Just kidding, I miss it. I'm fairly certain I knocked this out with a Play Rough because I was hard Stone. Lycanroc, and that Stone Edge is definitely doing 17% to a regular Garchomp there, probably even a Mega Garchomp. So that's pretty unfortunate that I missed that. I'm gonna go into Greninja and knock it out with a Dark Pulse, which is pretty cool. He goes into Darmanitan. I know a U-turn's coming here, so I'm gonna go to Roserade, try to get a little bit of chip on it with the Rocky Helmet. And he gets down to 59%. So with the spikes, it's kind of racking up there. He brings in his Zelf, so I think the easiest play for me is just bringing in the Audino. I can take on this thing pretty well as long as it doesn't nasty plot, but even then, I'm pretty good. I get a knockoff crit on him. We exchange knockoffs there, and now he's going to switch into Heatran. As I just wish up. Going to be able to get a fat wish into something. It ends up being Greninja on the Heatran. I know I resist anything here, so I'm in a pretty good spot with the Greninja. He misses a Magma Storm, so that's good for me. But I would have been able to get probably all of it back with the wish anyway. So yeah, now I'm just going to click Toxic on the predicted Vaporeon switch, which works out very well for me. Roserade is pretty useless at this point, so I'm going to switch it in here. And just hope he clicks Scald or something, maybe Protect. But no, he does make a play into Darmanitan. Takes even more Rocky Helmet damage. He could have just clicked, well, I don't know. I was thinking he could just click the Icicle Crash to not take the Rocky Helmet, but then it kind of lets in Infernape for free. So he U-turns, gets in the Noivern as I bring in Audino. I'm able to Ice Punch it, do about half. Now I know he can Roost, but I mean, I'm just gonna try to stay in on this thing. I gotta be careful with it because Greninja, it outspeeds Greninja, and it resists Infernape's dual stab. So I can really, the only way to kill it truly is by Stone Edging with the Infernape. But that'll obviously lock me into that attack. So a few turns later, I try to Ice Punch, maybe get a freeze off on the Heatran, maybe. Didn't end up doing that. I Wish Pass into Infernape here. It's interesting that he brought in Vaporeon, because if I bring in Greninja there, which is what I did last time, I would have been in a pretty good spot, I think, because I could just spam Dark Pulse, and the Toxic would have been racking up on him. So, yeah, I don't know. I wish I had brought in Greninja, but unfortunately I brought in Infernape. This gives him an opportunity to Wish and then Scald. He unfortunately does get the burn there, which is going to whittle me down slowly but surely. Very kind of like a slow timer kind of situation. I'm gonna Dark Pulse again and knock out his Azelf, which is awesome. I get the KO there, and so it's 3-4, and it's looking like Scarf Infernape is gonna have to win this game. I gotta get either Noivern whittled to where I can just spam CC, or Vaporeon whittled to where I can spam Stone Edge, and also Heatran, I believe. So he does bring in the Heatran here. As I have in my Audino, I'm going to click Wish here, which is very unfortunate because he does a lot with the Magma Storm. And I was expecting to die here, but I forgot that he doesn't know I don't have Protect. Um, so I'm going to click Knock Off there and actually get a little bit more chip on him, which is good. Um, Anything helps here. So he's going to Earth Power, get a critical hit. Doesn't really matter at this point. I'm going to do a strong 2% to him with the Ice Punch because I'm just trying to get a freeze at this point. That would be pretty nice, but it doesn't happen, obviously. I'm going to go into the... No, I'm sorry. I go into Infernape, and I'm going to be able to click the Close Combat there. Knock out the Heatran. And now we are at a 3-2 situation. He sees my Choice Scarf, so he knows I'm Scarfed. I go into Greninja, take the Rocks damage, and he goes for the Draco and knocks me out. Now he's at -2 special attack. So I'm going to go into the Infernape. And he's going to switch into Vaporeon. I would have just stayed in with Noivern. If he fears I have Stone Edge, it's not worth, me getting like I get a crit there. So if I get another crit, I just beat him as long as I don't miss a Stone Edge. But unfortunately, I don't get another crit, so he's able to knock me out. But in the situation where I get 2 crits, I win. But I can't really beat him if I Stone Edge the Noivern, because then he just brings in Vaporeon for free. So it is what it is. He still gets the 3-0 victory. I'm not too worried about this one. I mean, I did play on mobile. So, it wasn't like I couldn't calc anything. So it was kind of, I was on the back foot from turn 1, but I mean, it was still, I don't know. I feel like it was winnable. I just feel like once Altaria went down, it was so early to let my Altaria go down. It really kind of hindered everything. But I didn't have a Galarian Darmanitan switch in anyway. So I think the biggest thing is just the Stone Edge missing on the Garchomp. Because Lycanroc was a huge threat against him. Lycanroc was a huge threat. So maybe I should have kept it around, but at that point I just wanted some damage off with the Play Rough. So, yep, that's that. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.